Good evening. Good evening, everyone. My name is Jerome B. Lane Jr., a.k.a. Jerry Bishops. And this is the Jerry Bishops Live Show coming to you from Bravery Studios in Clifton, New Jersey. How's everybody doing out there? I hope everybody is well. It's been a couple of weeks, but we try to stay consistent with our shows and try to line up guests to come on the show that we think that you guys would like to hear from. With that being said, today's guest, East Orange Mayor Ted Green, was scheduled to come on the show. All of those who follow me on social media know that we were advertising the fact that he was going to be here. Unfortunately, due to some circumstances outside of my control, he's not here. So I'm obligated to you to still come on the air and do a show. I'm here. My man Marvin is here. The whole Bravery Studios crew is here. So the show must go on. I do hope that the mayor is safe, and I hope whatever it is that's going on, that he has complete control of it. I know it's raining down like a monsoon outside, so I would imagine, something's going on. So, like I said, with that being said, we have to go on with the show. He may come in once he's finished, or he's probably en route. I'm not sure, but these things happen. These guys have important jobs, and they could get pulled from any direction at any given moment. But one thing I do know about East Orange Mayor Ted Green is that his work ethic is like none other. That man, he really puts in the work. I see him, in the community all of the time, whether it's cutting the red tape for new businesses, or in the schools, talking to the children, or, the Mayor on the Block initiative, that he does, where, he goes on the blocks and makes sure that everything is being kept up to code so that the communities that our folks live in just look presentable. When you have visitors or family from out of town coming to your community, come on your block, you want your block to look right. You want it to be clean. You don't want your neighbor's bushes, out of control, or the garbage all over the place. You want your block and, the surrounding community to look good. And one thing that I will say is that he definitely puts the work in to make sure that, the initiatives that he put out, that people follow through. And I appreciate that. So, like I said, due to circumstances out of my control, he has some other matters that he had to tend to. This month of May, I will say that this month of May, it's going to be a big month for us. I kind of said to the people who I talked to behind the scenes, like I said, May is for the mayors. So I put an invitation out, personal invitation to the mayors in Essex County, and a couple of them said that they wanted to show up. So I said, this is beautiful. Everything is working out perfectly. So we got a confirmation from the mayor of Orange, New Jersey, and he's scheduled to come on the show this coming Monday, the 13th of May. We also have a confirmation from New Jersey State Assemblywoman, Brittany Timberlake. And she will be here on the 21st of May. And we have some other surprises. So, listen, we are doing big things. And my goal is just to try to bring these people to you and just give them an opportunity to speak about the different things that they are working on to try to improve the communities that we live in. and also to give some of the community leaders, guys like me and you, your average Joe, who are just doing things on the block, doing things in the neighborhood that that make our community a better place. Anyone that is working with children or working in the schools. There are a couple of great principals in Essex County that I want to get a hold of, principals and vice principals that are in Essex County that I really want to bring on the show to talk about the different things that they are doing. There are some fraternity brothers that I want to bring on the show that are doing some really awesome things. There's some clergy that I want to bring on the show that are doing wonderful things with the resources that they have in their houses of worship. While I'm speaking about houses of worship, I need to shout out my church. I need to shout out Elmwood United Presbyterian Church and Reverend Maria Crompton doing amazing work in the East Orange community. I need to shout out my godfather, Bishop Emilo Winningham, Springfield Assembly Church in Queens, New York. That's pretty much where I was raised. That was like home, and I'm proud to say that the church that I belong to now is like home for my children. Like, they spend so much time there. We're doing awesome things. We have a computer room. Shout out to my brother Daniel and Lamond and Henry. They help me with different ideas and different things that we saw happen when we were kids at our church. So we just try to implement those things. We at the church now, we have a computer lab, and we got a game room for the children that like to play the video games. The gymnasium is always full, with kids that like to play basketball. So they're doing an awesome job there, just trying to open up the resources that the church has to the community for use. So if your kids want to have a little Sweet 16 or a little, baby shower, wedding shower, they have facilities as well, so at reasonable cost, so that you can have a really nice event. The church should be that. It should be open to the community for use, and not just on Sundays, So like I said, shout out to Elmwood, shout out to Reverend Crompton. You're doing an amazing job. If there's somebody in your community that you feel like needs some attention, or you want to highlight something that they're doing really positive in their community, I want to give you guys an opportunity to call in. If you're doing something in your community and you need some assistance in terms of volunteers, or you just want to put the word out to try to get some people in the building or on the block, I'm giving you an opportunity to call in 862-621-9536. If there's something that you want to bring some attention to this evening, we are here. We're in the building. The phone lines are open. Big Marv, the phone lines are open, right? Yes, sir. The phone lines are open. 862-621-9536. If there is something or someone that you want to bring some attention to, something that's positive that's going on in your neighborhood, somebody that is doing something positive that you feel like you just want to shout them out and say thank you, or just bring some attention to it. If there's an event that you're having that you would like to bring some attention to in your neighborhood, you can call in as well. It doesn't have to be in Essex County, doesn't have to be in Jersey. It could be in New York. It could be in Tallahassee. Wherever it is, call us up and we'll put you on the air and give you an opportunity to let the folks know what it is that's going on. Once again, that number is 862-621-9536. You're more than welcome to call in and we'll chit chat about what's going on. I want to touch on some different things that were going on this week. And if a call comes in, we'll just bring the caller in, or if I get a text from Mayor Green that he's in the vicinity, we'll move towards that. But Tiger Woods was at the White House Was at the White House yesterday, and him and Donald Trump, President Donald Trump, you guys, President Donald Trump, President of the United States, all the states that voted for him. He gave Tiger Woods the, I believe it was the Medal of Freedom, and it says him and Tiger Woods go way back, you know. So and normally I would be like, oh, you know, if I was that was me, I wouldn't go. You know, you got some athletes who decided not to go after they won championships. I believe the manager of the Boston Red Sox, he was on the fence about whether he was going to go to the White House or not. Basically because he has family, and he's Puerto Rican. He has family that's Puerto Rican, and he's not comfortable with the work that's being done to bring Puerto Rico back to a place where they're comfortable with, you know, their standards of living. I mean, that country went through a tremendous tragedy, and the image of Donald Trump like tossing paper towels like they were free throws is like is embedded in my head, and I'm sure other folks. So everybody has their issues with Mr. President, but I feel like a medal that Tiger Woods was to receive on behalf of the country from the president is well deserved. I'm not going to take any jabs at Tiger Woods for accepting that medal from the president. I mean, it wasn't a political thing. It was more like, well, I guess some would say everything is political, but I feel like you know, what he's been through, personal stories, and from a professional standpoint as well, all of the back surgeries and just the setbacks from a personal standpoint. He's been through a lot. So I was glad to see him win the Masters, and I was happy that he received the medal. With that being said, I'll move on. That's all I got to say about Tiger and Trump. Once again, that number is 862-621-9536. We just want to put the number out there to give people an opportunity to highlight something or someone that's going on, something or someone that's doing some positive work in the community. I'm going to take a sip of water. I know you probably shouldn't do that on the air, but for any of you who are basically just listening to the podcast, you didn't see that. On some other news, all over the internet, there are a couple of things that were trending. Some of the things we were talking about in my office, my place of employment today, was the Met Gala. Every year they have this function. I'm really not sure exactly what it's for, or if the money that is paid by celebrities, or I don't even know if the celebrities pay for the tickets or whatever, maybe. But I do know the tickets, they go from anywhere between $35,000 and $100,000, I guess. I don't know. But I wonder if the money goes to any type of charity or something like that. But I was just looking at some of the outfits that I saw, and people who were taking their sweet time to switch into different outfits while they were on the red carpet. And it was just kind of crazy. Like, specifically Lady Gaga. I don't know if anybody saw her outfit, but she had like 4 or 5 different outfits. And she basically switched from outfit to outfit to outfit while on the red carpet. And I was just saying to myself, you know, I hope that all of the attention being brought to this event is benefiting some sort of nonprofit. I got to do some research around this whole Met Gala thing and find out who it benefits, because I hope that these folks are doing this for a worthy cause. it gets so much attention. I'm sure they, the tickets are, like I said, off the charts. And I was looking at the press. The press, was dressed in the black and white too. So pretty formal event. I saw some folks. I saw Common and Idris Elba and couple other entertainers and artists there. And it was just interesting. It was just interesting to see the least. I mean, I think I saw Katy Perry. I think she had on like 2 chandeliers. It was like she had like one that was part of the dress and one that was like on top of her head. And I was just like, this is just like, it's just crazy. We should have a Met Gala in the community with some local designers and see what kind of stuff that people show up with for a good cause, of course. Somebody get at me. They want to do a Met Gala type event to benefit some nonprofits in the community. We got an event space, right, Marv? We got an event space. We can make that happen? All right. So, somebody get at us. We can make that happen. So, like I said, this is the Jerry Bishop's live show. We are at Bravery Studios in Clifton, New Jersey. And we had scheduled the mayor of East Orange, Ted Green, to come in. But like I said, due to unforeseen circumstances, he was not able to make it. And hopefully, we'll get him in here at some point. We'll get him in here. I'm sure he has a message for the people. And but as I stated before, I want to hear from you guys. Are you guys trying to tell me that there's nothing positive going on in your community? There's nobody that you want to highlight that's doing some positive work, or just shout out somebody that's in the community that's doing something positive? Or maybe there's a teacher or a local politician, or maybe someone, just down the block from you that's doing something positive. I want to hear from you. If there's an event that's going on for maybe a Mother's Day. I know there was a mother and son dance in East Orange that they were trying to put together. I'm not sure if it's still going on or not, but if there's something like that going on in your community, call us up, 862-621-9536. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to a break. I'm going to try to drink some water without spilling it on myself. When I come back, hopefully we'll have someone that would like to highlight something positive going on in the community. All right, let's go to break. This is Jerry Bishop's Live. I'll be right back. Good evening. This is Jerry Bishop's live show here at Bravery Studios in not in East. We're in Clifton. We're in Clifton, New Jersey. Established in 2016 by my man Marv. We are happy that you are here. And as I stated before, we had the Mayor Ted Green scheduled to come in, but he actually was I just got a text message from the mayor, and he actually got caught up in a safe park tour, citywide safe park tour. And so, like I said, there are a lot of things going on in the city, and sometimes, like I said, these gentlemen and young women who decide to dedicate their lives to public service, they get pulled in a lot of different directions. And I would of course, I want to bring him to you to, have him speak about the different things that's going on and to tell his personal story. But if there's something that's going on in the city where, he could touch, the life of somebody, or another kid could see him just, there, I want that to happen. He'll make it here. I'm sure he'll make it here at some point. I want that to happen. But it's okay. It's okay. The show will go on, and the mayor is going to continue to do beautiful things in the town. All right. So, like I said before, we want to highlight some positive things that are going on within our communities. I am actually going to try to pull up some stuff that is going on in East Orange. And forgive me. I just want to see if there are any flyers or anything that I can pull up to just bring some attention to some of the things that's going on. Like I said, you guys can call in at 862-621-9536. Okay, here we go. East Orange Spring Cleanup. That is an East Orange citywide spring cleanup that's going on Saturday, June 1st from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. I see that it says here, free T-shirts to the first 100 participants. Okay. So, once again, East Orange citywide spring cleanup, Saturday, June 1st from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Free T-shirts to the first 100 participants. This is hosted by East Orange City Hall. I believe the meeting point will be at 8:30 at East Orange City Hall, 44 City Hall Plaza, East Orange, New Jersey, 07018. It says here, join Mayor Ted R. Green, the East Orange City Council, and the Department of Public Works for our citywide spring cleanup. Supplies will be provided at City Hall Plaza starting at 8:30 a.m. If you would like to join a neighborhood group or organization, please call the Department of Public Works at 973-266-5330. Once again, it says the free T-shirts will be provided to the first 100 participants. You can actually go to the East Orange City Hall Facebook page if you like to see the flyer as well for this event. All right, let's see if there's anything else that's going on. Let's see here. Okay. Let me take my glasses off so I can see this. The city of East Orange is currently seeking recruits. Oh, that's an old flyer. City of East Orange was looking for firemen last summer. The deadline was August 31st. I'm sure that was a great opportunity for some folks to take advantage of. While I've got your attention, I also want to shout out Auntie Wanda and Fran Mosley, the ladies of Gym Talk, GEM, Girls Embracing Their Manifestation. They actually do a podcast here at Bravery Studios under the Jersey Fresh TV company, and it's an amazing podcast. The ladies come in here and they do an amazing job. They talk about everything from mental illness to just, woman's empowerment. Just one of the shows they had, it was basically a show just talking about just kind of patting yourself on the back and just giving kudos to yourself about the work that you're doing, and whatever you did to get you from point A to point B, to accomplish the goals that you had set out to accomplish. So just kind of congratulating yourself, taking time out to, like I said, pat yourself on the back, because if you don't do it, nobody else will. So shout out to the ladies of Gym Talk. You can actually view some of the shows. Actually, you can view all of the shows on the Jersey Fresh TV YouTube page. All of the shows are there. Shout out to them. Like I said, they do an amazing job. Their last show was about mental health awareness. Everyone knows that May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and they do an amazing job. That was a great show that they had. A lot of different resources that they put out there for the people to take advantage of. Once again, the number that you guys can call in is 862-621-9536. This is Jerry Bishop's live, and we are in the building. As I stated, I still had to jump on the air. We had a scheduled guest, and unfortunately, there was another event that the mayor had to be at. So we have to move on. I'm trying to see if there are some other events that I can speak of. This weekend at Elmwood United Presbyterian Church, there is an event called Men Who Can Cook. Men Who Can Cook. 135 Elmwood Avenue in East Orange, New Jersey. There is an event called Men Who Can Cook. If you go to the Elmwood Church Facebook page, this event it happens once a year. And there's about 25 to 30 brothers who are part of the Men of Faith ministry within the church. And everybody gets together and they cook their very best dish. Nobody comes to the table with some experimental stuff that they don't know nothing about. Everybody cooks their very best dish. And what you can basically do, you have the options. You can buy a ticket for a dinner, or you can basically buy a ticket for like a fish dinner or a fish sandwich or something like that. Or you can buy like 10 tickets where you'd actually get an opportunity to taste each meal, taste each platter, each dish. A lot of people like to do that. But I'm trying to tell you, you got to get there on time as soon as the doors open, because last year it was off the chain. So, like I said, I believe it starts at 12 noon. It's called Men Who Can Cook. Elmwood United Presbyterian Church, the Men of Faith ministry. Men Who Can Cook. Go to the Facebook page. Come out on Saturday, right before Mother's Day. There's another thing we can do. If anybody wants to send a shout out or a rest in peace to their mom. You can call in and do that as well. I'll talk about my mom for a little bit. You can call in 862-621-9536. I'll tell you a funny story. Me and my one of my younger brothers, Monty, he does a podcast over in New York called Big Picture Podcast. We're both into podcasting. It's crazy. When we were young kids, we used to trade baseball cards, football cards, basketball cards, and like we used to study the statistics of sports. Just like we knew, like how many rebounds did they average, how many points did they average, and who did this and who did what. Like we just knew everything that you could want to know from a statistic standpoint for sports. So basically what we used to do is we used to trade cards, and my mother would hear us like arguing back and forth for like hours sometimes about the players and, what we felt like was an even trade, or, who was trying to get over, or what team was better. He was, at the time, he was like don't ask me how Lamont became a Lakers fan, but I remember when Lamont first started watching basketball, he was a big Celtics fan. He probably denied that. But whatever the case is, my mother always used to say, like, you guys need to have your own show. Like, just out of the blue. Like, it was just something she said. Like, you guys need to have your own show, And we were like 10 and like 11 and 12. And Lamont was, Lamont's 4 years younger than me. So, we just used to go back and forth. And my mother was like, you guys should do this on TV or something like that. And it's like, we would just be like, where does that come from? And lo and behold, I ended up going to school for multimedia arts and graduating from Lehman College. Shout out to Lehman College in the Bronx, New York. Shout out to the multimedia department, the journalism department. And it's so weird because the day after graduation, I got invited to co-host a show with Mr. Robin Lundberg from ESPN Radio. And that was like my first time, like, just sitting in an actual radio studio and getting a chance to speak to the people over the airwaves of ESPN Radio. And I felt like, wow, this is an awesome opportunity. But I didn't look at it as an opportunity for me to apply to any ESPN radio jobs. I mean, I know I was like just graduating from school and, ready to jump into this field. It wasn't for me to be like, okay, I'm going to ESPN.com. I'm going to apply for this job, because I was more about, okay, how can I start my own? How can I jump into this media, this multimedia field and really be able to make some waves and do what I want to do. And this was 2014. And lo and behold, like that's the year that I started podcasting. And it was a sports podcast. And funny, Lamont was like my first guest. Like, he was like my first co-host. Shout out to my man Anthony Rushing, who who was my co-host for the show. But the first actual show, he was working a game, and Lamont actually sat in, and it was just so crazy because just like seeing him sit across from me, and my mother had passed by then, but seeing him sit across from me and us talking about sports over this podcast, it was just so crazy, because it's like, here it is, mom says something like when we were like 10 and 11 about us doing a show way before the word podcast was even a word. So it had to be like 84 or something like that. You know what I mean? But that's the importance of people just putting things out in the atmosphere, and that's important, to have somebody who pretty much just believes in you when nobody else does. If somebody who can see the things in you that you don't even see in yourself, and also just knowing that when there is a field or a space that you're trying to get into, like let's just say, for instance, rap, right? So many rappers out there, so many singers out there, and everybody's trying to get in this field where they're getting signed by labels, right? But the thing about it is, there's a whole group of people out there who are on the outside. Let's just call it a community of people that are on the outside of this industry, because there's a small community of people that are in this industry, this signed artists and the people who are connected to the labels and this and that. But outside of that community is all of the other people who are trying to make it, independent. There's many more of the people that are outside of this community. They're outside of this community. So if we all get together and build up this community of folks, then imagine the power that we'll all have. There's a market for you somewhere out there. You just got to find it. And don't be afraid to hook up and do business with people and to network. That's one thing that I always said. I said, I'll build my own industry outside of that industry. I'll start my own podcast. I'll start my own independent label. I got friends who've, started out independently. Shout out to my man Craig Watson, Baked Cravings, over on 105th and Lexington Avenue. Nut-free bakery for all the kids and folks who have nut allergies. It's also kosher. Shout out to you guys. And I want to shout him out. Always, on his A game in regards to business. I got some, my brothers out there that own the barbershops and different things of that nature. Like, just because, these people right here don't let you inside, like I said, there's more than enough people for you to network with and start your own situation. I never, after being at ESPN for that day and just seeing everything that was going on, I never said to myself, oh, I want to be here. My thing was like, I want to do my own thing. I want my boys that talk about sports every day that can't get through to these guys' show. I want them to be able to call my show and talk about, this and talk about that and LeBron and actually be able to get through. And, I want to give you more than 5 seconds to talk. I give you 2 or 3 minutes or 4 minutes to speak your truth. And, and we can debate about it. So I think that's the beauty of having your own. Shout out to my man Marvin here at Bravery Studios. And, he's doing a magnificent thing here, giving people a platform to just have their podcasts and, put their message out there. And I figured that I would use this platform to just bring people into the building who could share with you why they decided to go into the field that they're into. So, for the next couple of weeks, I chose to bring in people that have dedicated their lives to public service and speak to you about why they decided to go in this direction. What are the challenges of being a public servant and being a spouse, or being a public servant and being a mother, being a public servant or being a father? Some of our public servants still work 9 to 5s. They still have jobs that they're doing, to on the side to support their families, and they do other, they in their title as someone who is elected to a certain position or appointed, and people are working hard. People are working very hard to bring out the best in our community. So I just say that to say, listen, stay positive. Don't be afraid to network with people. Don't be afraid to start your own. Listen, to see things grow organically is one of the most beautiful things that you could see. I mean, I know people who have started from the bottom, literally, and have built their business, or have built their following. Don't be afraid to network with somebody. I mean, when I first started my podcast, there was a guy, when I first started Double Coverage, there was a guy, like I said, Anthony Rushing, and he was somebody who I had been just watching on social media, just watching him talk about sports, going back and forth sometimes. And he was a great writer as well. Saw him write different articles. And at no point was there any like jealousy or anything like that? Oh, these guys doing it. It was like, nah, man, I need him on my team. You know what I mean? Like, you want good people on your team. I don't want to be the best. I want somebody that's going to keep me sharp, and I want to be able to keep them sharp. So when you think about different people that you want to team up, make sure their spirit is right. Make sure your spirit is right when you come to the table. And make sure that it's somebody that's going to keep you on point as well. And that's somebody that's going to be honest. One thing I was just telling somebody about podcasting is, sometimes when people watch your podcast, they're watching it for the content or watching it for whatever reason. But you yourself have to watch and listen to your podcast so that you can critique it yourself. You can't just walk away and say, oh, man, I think I had a great show. My guest was great, sounded good, looked good. No, you have to watch it yourself. You have to listen to it yourself. And you have to say, okay, Dag, maybe I could have did this better. Or, maybe, this could have looked better, or whatever the case. Or maybe I should do, maybe I went into too many breaks, or maybe I didn't go into enough. There are different things that, you should look at to just kind of critique yourself and to see the growth. You want to see growth, and also don't be afraid to speak positive about someone. Put something in the atmosphere that's positive about somebody. You never know the effect that it will have. Like I said, there were a lot of things that my mom said that I really had no idea, that would come into fruition, and it did. So I miss her. I'm sure my brothers do miss her, and my sons miss her. And so I probably won't be on the air anytime before Mother's Day. So I definitely want to send a shout out to all of the mothers, the grandmothers, the auntie mothers, the cousin mothers, the great grandmothers. There's a lot of women out there who go above and beyond for the children. Shout out to all of the teachers, who are like mothers as well. And I want to say happy Mother's Day to all of you guys early, because I probably won't see you again until Monday, Tuesday of next week. With that being said, I want to thank anyone and everyone who got an opportunity to tune in this evening. This is Jerry Bishops on the Jerry Bishops Live Show at Bravery Studios, coming to you from Clifton, New Jersey. Signing out. Peace and love.